Have you been looking for a way to pad your princess armhole buster dart, or you've been looking for a way to cut it perfectly? This is a very detailed tutorial for you. Good day everyone, you are welcome to my channel. My name is Peace Deborah. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to go about this. So feel free to watch this to the end. So here is the pattern we're going to be using. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now. The measurements I'm going to be using today, if you want to make this princess bustier armor, I know we have shoulder darts, but we are going to go with armor princess bustier dart. Okay, so you'll be needing your bust circumference, your under bust circumference, your shoulder to breast point, your shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to your half length. So, and also you need your shoulder measurement. Okay, so I first mark a guideline which is 0.5, to just make sure that I'm marking on a straight fabric, on a straight paper. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting my shoulder measurement. Okay, the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 divided by 2 will give me 8. So after which I input my neck, I'm going to be input my neck measurement, the wideness of my neck. I'm using 3 inches for this project, 3 inches for the wideness, and I'm going to be using 5 inches for the depth. Okay, if you want to get your wideness, your neck the neck wideness of your neck very well, you can divide your bust circumference, you can divide it by 12. Okay, but I'm using 3 for this project and I'm using 5 for the depth of the neck. Okay, so I'm going to mark the neck, the wideness, and the depth. I'm going to join them together as you see me doing. So after which I'm going to be taking the slope, my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. You can do 1.5, but 1 inch works for me perfectly. Okay, and I take the slope, I mark it directly to the wideness of my neck. So the next thing we're going to be taking, we're going to be inputting our armhole measurements. Okay, so the armhole measurements, you are going to use your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 2. I normally use plus 2 so that I will not need to trim it at the end of the day when I want to insert my sleeve. But you can go with 1.5 if it works for you perfectly. So I've already input my armhole line. My own is 8.5 after I divided my bust circumference plus 2. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be inputting my breast point. Okay, my breast point, the breast point I'm working with here is 10.5. Okay, so I've marked it and I will connect the lines together as you are seeing me doing. So the next one is going to be our under bust. Okay, from shoulder to your under bust, from shoulder to the under bust of this person is 14 inches. Okay, it's 14. I'm using 14 inches for this person, and from shoulder to the waistline is 18 inches. Okay, is 18 inches. So I've already marked it. I marked it in 2 places so that I'll be able to connect it very well. Okay, so after I'm done, I'm going to be inputting my armhole line again. So the armhole line that I mark, which is 8.5, okay, I'm going to be connecting it to the chest line. So I did that to make it a straight line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be dividing my bust circumference so that I can connect my round armhole. So the bust circumference I'm working with is 39 inches, and 39 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.75 or thereabout. So I round it up to be 10 inches. Okay, so I'm putting 10 inches at this chest line, and I will go up. Okay, I will divide whatever I have at my armhole line, I will divide it by 2. I have 8.5. 8.5 divided by 2, you can see me, I folded my tape into 2, and I'm going to mark that place, and I will go inside by half an inch to connect my armhole curve. Okay, and this is my armhole curve. I'm going to be placing it in those 3 points. Okay, at that bust circumference, that half an inch I went inside, and at the shoulder line, I'm going to be connecting the 3 of them together like so. So after this, I'm just trying to highlight it very well here. It's still the same measurement that I use. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead now and label my lines. Okay, I have chest line, I have breast point, I have under bust, and I have my half length. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be inputting my nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, you can go ahead and measure your own. Okay, the one I'm using here is 8 inches, and 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So I input my 4 inches from my breast point down to my waistline. Okay, and I'm going to connect it together in a straight line like that. Okay, and I say we are doing princess bustier. Okay, armhole princess bustier. So I'm going to take my armhole curve and place it at the half of that armhole directly to my breast point. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it like that. So you can see the way I place my armhole curve. See the way I place my ruler. The placement of your ruler actually depends as well. So I'm going to go ahead now and tighten my under bust. Okay, so the tightening of my under bust, I will go outward. Okay, the outward, the outside, I'm inputting 1.5, and inward I'm going to input is 0.5. Okay, the bust circumference I'm working with is 39. If you are working, if your bust circumference is lesser than that, you can go outward 1, inward half an inch. Okay, I repeat the same thing at the waistline. Outward 1.5, inward 0.5. I let the outward to carry the bigger amount of the thing than the inward one. Okay, so that the our center front will not be small. Okay, so I will go ahead now and connect it directly to my breast point. You are going to come down by 0.5 from your breast point so that it will not be pointing. You will not have a sharp point in that place. So I'm going to take my curve ruler now and I will connect it directly to the breast point, where I'm to the breast point like that, as you're seeing me doing. Okay, so I'm going to exchange. You can see the way I place my curve ruler. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the outward one. Okay, just do it properly. That's what I'm trying to do. So after this now, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the armhole line. Okay, I'm going to tighten the armhole. I will come down from this half of armhole. I will come down by 1.5. You can come down by 1 inch, depends on the bust circumference of the person you are working with, or the size of the breast to determine. So if you are using lesser than 39 to 40, 38, you can, if you are using 36 down, you can use 1 inch. So I will go ahead now. You can say I've come down from that half of armhole by 1.5, and I will go up from my breast point. I will go up as well by 0.5, so that I will not have a sharp edge like that, so that my cup will flat, it will not be pointy. So that's the essence of taking those measurements. So I will connect my 1.5 directly to my breast point, where I came up by 0.5. So we are going to extend that 1.5 that we took. We are going to extend it at the front. You can see the way I place my tape, so that we will not have shortage. Because if you cut it like that, you do not add that 1.5 back to the pattern or to the clothes, you are going to have shortage. So I'm going to replace, you can see me, I've replaced my 1.5, and I'm going to have a new armhole. Okay, because of 1.5 that we took, I'm going to have a new armhole. You can see I reconnected the armhole back to 1.5, that are the allowance I added in that place. So we are going to be cutting that place out. So we have already have the new armhole like that. So the next thing, I'm going to input my waist measurement. Okay, we have already input our bust circumference measurement, okay, which is 10 inches. And I'm going to go ahead now and input my waist measurement. The waist I'm working with here is 33 inches. 33 divided by 4 is 8.5. And don't forget, we took 2 inches as our dart allowance here, our dart intake. Half an inch inward and 1.5 outward. That's 2 inches. 2 inches plus 8.5 will give me 10.5. So you can see I adjusted the bust area on. I added the 0.5 so that my line will not look funny, will not look somehow. So I let the line to be straight. Okay, so your own might not look like that. Your own measurement, just use your measurement. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now, input my bust dart. Okay, my bust dart, that is what I'm trying to do. The difference between my back half length and my front half length is what I input here. You can go ahead and measure your own. My own is 2 inches different, okay? So I'm going to connect it directly to the breast point. I came out by 0.5 from the breast point. I don't want that line to reach the breast point exactly, so that it will not give me a sharp corner like that. Okay, so I'm trying to mark out the place that we're going to be cutting out. Okay, so all these places I mark out now, we're going to be cutting them out. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cut them out like that. Okay, and the bust, that we are going to slash the middle, that leg we're going to slash it, so that we can close the bust. That is what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to cut it and close it up. You just place it on top of that one down. Okay, and you just take your sellotape. Okay, it can be paper tape, anyone that you have. You can just take it and just close the bust that. That is what I'm trying to do. I want to close the bust that. The bust that's taken is very important. It's always give you a somehow room to the bust area, yes, and it will not make your back measurement to look funny. Okay, so after I closed it, I noticed that I have shortage at that area, so I have to blend it up. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. I blend it up so that my line will be accurate. Okay, so I will go ahead now and finish cutting. So you can see I cut it at my new armhole. I cut it at my new armhole. Okay, not the former one that we did. So now we trim the center front on too. So I'm trimming the center front. I want to bring out the pattern. Okay, so you can see the remaining one. I will cut my neck, the neckline of the dress I want to do. I'm trying to cut it. Okay, I sellotape the pattern down so that it will not misbehave when I'm drafting. Okay, so I've cut my shoulder slope. So I'm trying to cut the remaining part of the side, uh, of the side on. Okay, the darts of the other side. So that's what I'm trying to do. You can see it's even cupping already without sewing it here. You can see it. You can see the cup is looking very nice. Okay, so I'm going to notch the underbust and I will notch the breast point, so that when I'm joining them together, I will match them, so that I will not they will not look funny. I'm going to match them. So you can see our pattern matches together because of that 1.5 that we added at the armhole side. So I've gone ahead to use my pattern to cut my fabric. Okay, so you can see I added 2 inches to the side where I'm going to be joining them together, and I cut it I cut 2 times, and I cut the center front on fold. Okay, our paper was not cut on fold. Okay, but when you are using it to cut fabric, you must cut it on fold, and you cut that side 2 times. Okay, one for the right and one for the left. So I've gone ahead as well to use it to cut my lining. Okay, and I use it to cut the gum stay as well, my hair stay. I'm using black stay here. You can go ahead and use white. You can use black. Anyone that you see at the market, you can use it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be bringing out this cup. Okay, we are going to use it to cut the stay or the wording. If you are using wording, you're going to use it to cut the wording. I'm trying to bring out the shape, the cup. Okay, so you can just see the way I did. Okay, so this is center frontal. So this center front depends on how you want the neck to be deep. Okay, so I want it to go down. I don't want it to come up to my chest line. I don't want it to come up to my neckline. Okay, so from your chest line you can just go up by 2 inches. Okay, or better still, you can just pick the side of the pattern, the other side. Okay, the one you chalk at the other side, just bring them together. Okay, so you should cut your underbust, you cut from the underbust. That center front will be cut from the underbust. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say here. You bring the one that you chalk at the side, okay, to know where they are going to match, so that it will not pass each other like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, I've retraced my own. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. I've just cut it on a straight because I'm not really sure of the curve. So I cut it straight forward. You can cut it straight like this and leave it. It's not necessary you give it a straight out neck. So this one is just for the inner copy that we're going to be doing. Inner, all this ironing, all this estate that we're going to be cutting. Okay, we need to cut it on curve purpose so that it will lay very flat. It will look very nice. Okay, that's what I'm just trying to do here. I want to bring out the cup out so that I can use it to cut the hairstay. I've already used it to cut one full hairstay. I cut two full hairstay. I first used it to cut. I first got me because I'm actually using Junkoso materials. Okay, if you're using Ankara or African prints, it's not necessary you first gum stay it before you are placing all those sculpt on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it four times, unfold for the center front and pieces for the side. Okay, I'm not using wording in this project. I'm using curve. So I've gone ahead now to cut the gum stay. So you can see me. I've already, like I said earlier, I'm using Jonko. So I've already gum stay it. I have I first placed one layer on it. And the four that I cut, you can see the cup that I used to cut the four out. I'm going to place it on top of my center front, okay, and I will locate where I notch my underbust, my breast point area. I'm going to place it on top and make sure that I iron it very well. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So this is the side done. I'm going to repeat the same thing. I first layer, I will iron it before I started placing those cup on top. And when you are cutting your cup out, please make sure that you notch the side area so that you know which one to place, which one is the cup, which one is the side. Okay, so I'm going to be putting 4 layers on it. On that side, the first side, I have two sides, I have left and right. I'm going to be putting 4 layers on it. You can use more than 4 layers depending on the type of this thing you are using. And after that, I'm going to place another layer, full one. No, I'm going to place it on top of that one. Okay, I'm going to place full one. So this is where we are going to be sewing it. I brought us to sewing machine so that we can see how to place it together. When you are sewing your bustier, you start from the down part. You sew from the down to up, okay, so that it will matches, because on the underbust must matches, your breast point must matches, your chest line too must matches. So you must start from the down part to the upper part, okay, like that. It will be accurate. But if you start from the upper part, you might not know. One might pass each other. The one might be longer than the other, and you need to trim it, and then it will affect your measurement or your pattern. So anytime you want to sew your bustier, just start from the down to up. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I'm sewing it together. I'm actually using black fabric like that, so you might not actually see what I'm doing, but I'm just joining this with a 0.5 inches allowance. 0.5. I normally add my allowance to my pattern when I'm drafting. The only thing I don't normally add is all this side allowance. But like breast point that I use 4 inches. I use 8. The major breast point for the person is 7 inches, and I divided it into 3 plus 5 inches, making 4. Okay, that's what I use. So what I'm just doing here, I'm joining my dart by 0.5 from down to the up. Okay, and you can see I'm not putting wording like I said earlier. I'm actually using cup. I've already padded this. Like each gum stay that is on this is like 6. Yes, I use 2 full gum stay. Before I use the one that I use cup to cut. Okay, the small one. I stop the small one, stop at the underbust, from the chest to underbust, from chest to underbust, and that one is four layers. Okay, and after I put that one, I still cover it up with a very full one. Okay, so there's no need. My cup is going to stand very well. So the person actually wants me to put braco instead of wording. So I'm done. We are going to take this to the table now and go and iron it out. Okay, you are going to be needing something round. Okay, you can make this tailor arm by yourself. Okay, so I'm using tailor arm here. I'm going to place it and be opening it and iron. Okay, I'm going to open press it. If you have steam iron, you use steam iron. The light I'm using cannot carry my steam iron now, so I'm managing this one that I have now. So I'm going to be open pressing this. You can see the way I'm doing. I'm open pressing it, open pressing it, open pressing it. I'm making sure that I'm opening it, and I'm pressing it down. Okay, so that it will relax very well, and that cup will come out very beautiful. And I'm actually ironing the outside as well. You need to iron the outside as well. The materials I'm using is not really friendly. It's jokoso, so it's giving me a lot of problem. So after I'm done like that, I'm going to carry another stay, okay, and place it on top of that iron, that open press that I did, that I'm going to use it to press it down. Okay, you can see the way I'm doing. I place like 3 layers. So okay, just watch what I'm doing. Like 3 layers, I place it on top of that open press, that place I open and press. I put it on top and I iron it down so that it will remain flat, it will remain open like that. Like 3 layers of gum of the stay, or you can do with 2 layers, anyone you want. So I want it to press and to relax very well. So guys, I'm done ironing this, and this is the end of our class. See you in the next video. This is really looking beautiful. Okay, if you have, like I said, if you have steam iron, use steam iron to press this. All this rumple side, I'm still going to use my steam iron to iron. So you can see it's looking very beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.